It's time for Bearcat basketball on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Tonight's game is presented by the Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223, the heart of the community, and by D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Simone Family Chiropractic in downtown Huntingdon, Brannaman's Meat Market, and by Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing of Huntingdon. Now, with all the action of tonight's game, here's the voice of Bearcat Sports, Dave Shannon, on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
And, of course, thank you, Greg, as we get set for an exciting game headed your way tonight here on the Air Network and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. The 3-0 Huntingdon Bearcats set to take on the 3-1 Tyrone Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles just suffered a loss on Monday night at the hands of Richmond, a very good basketball team. Meanwhile, the Bearcats, they have won their first 3 games. They defeated Tussey Mountain 88-53, Bellefonte 51-43, and Clearfield 85-62. They're going to try to keep that trend going, if at all possible, as they take on the Golden Eagles here tonight. And, of course, we want to thank all of the sponsors that jumped on board to help us out tonight. They include the Moose Family Center, also Simone Chiropractic, D.C. Goodman & Sons, Brenneman's Meat Market, and we want to thank Austin Smith Plumbing and Heating as well. Thanks to all those folks for coming on board and being a part of Bearcat basketball tonight on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Yeah, we got some interesting action sure to come. Nick Rigby, so far in the season, the leading point average guy for Coach Nick Payne and the Huntingdon Bearcats, averaging 19.3 points per game. It's going to be a big key to what goes on. Owen Lane averaging 15 points per game. And those two guys are going to be a big key as to how well Huntingdon is able to do tonight. We'll talk to Coach Payne, get his thoughts on his squad so far this year and what to expect coming up here against Tyrone. We'll do that right after we take this time out. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing for affordable heating, plumbing, and drain cleaning services in Huntingdon. Count on 12 years of ensured excellent service when it comes to heating, plumbing, ventilation, and drain cleaning. Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing, available evenings and weekends at an affordable rate. Call 814-506-5128. That's 506-5128 for Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing in Huntingdon. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community with loads of activities year-round. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 proudly sponsors community events for the public, plus social events for members and their guests. Stop by for their Friday food special starting at 5 p.m. every Friday, and don't forget to check out our website for other exciting events. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community. Join us today.
Hello. This is Dr. Simone from Simone Family Chiropractic and Chiro Thin Weight Loss Center. By now, you've probably heard of our amazing doctor-supervised weight loss system, but maybe you are not sure if it works or you don't know the cost. Introducing the all-new 9-day, 9-pound, $69 Chiro Thin experience. The system is based on the 4 gold standards of weight loss established by the federal government. Call us today at 814-643-2616 or find us on Facebook.
Here we are getting ready for another exciting night of high school football on the airnetwork.net and 94. Here with the head coach of the Bearcats, that of course is Nick Payne for the first time in the 17-18 season. First off, good to see you again.
Yeah, nice seeing you too, Dave.
And we're getting ready tonight. It's going to be a tough game. You're at Tyrone's place. Tyrone's coming off a pretty tough loss that I happened to be at against Richmond on Monday. You guys are running a 3-game win streak out of the gate. This one is going to be tough.
Oh, absolutely. You know, when you preseason, you look at the schedule and you star the games. This is the ones that you star. And, you know, this started 3 years ago with they got, you know, some solid seniors that started as sophomores coming up through. And, you know, now they're seniors and they have something to prove.
One of the things I noticed, I was checking your stats and they elude me at the moment, but looking at what Nick Rigby has done in the early part of the season, kids really played well.
Yeah, he's probably one of the hardest working kids I've coached. He's always one of the first ones in the gym, always one of the last ones, you know, out of the gym. At times I have to kick him out, and actually it's a good thing he got his driver's license here recently, so you know his mom's not waiting for him. But yeah, he really puts a lot into the game, and you know he gets out what he puts in.
Yeah, and it's showing so far this season. One of the guys I was going to touch on too is a young man that I got to know on the gridiron, and that of course Jonathan Price, and quite the impressive young man on the football field, and he's doing okay for you on the hardwood too.
Yeah, he's just a really good shooter. He started the season a little bit in a slump shooting wise, but hopefully he can get out of that slump tonight, and he brings it. He's one of those kids that just shows up every night, and he has that X factor. He has got that grit, you know, and he's a battler. He's a competitor.
One of the do you like your outside game? Is it a perimeter focus? Do you like your inside game more? I know you have a really good shooting percentage from 2-point areas, so I'm assuming that a good number of that is coming from inside work.
Yeah, I mean, our defense creates our offense, getting a lot of steals, getting up and down the court. You know, we've been doing a really good job over the last few games of hitting the offensive boards and being able to finish. Definitely our outside game needs to improve a lot. We haven't been shooting the ball as well as I'd like, and you know, I think as the season goes on, that will get better.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you hope you don't have to rely on in a game, and it's kind of funny too to see some teams, if there's a big enough deficit, they seem to lean on the three just way too much, when in fact, a lot of the time, if you drive to the hole and you can make that shot, you're probably going to be fouled too.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting to the basket really opens up the perimeter, and we got to make sure we, you know, take advantage of that tonight. I'm guessing that, you know, Tyrone's going to be maybe sitting in the zone and want to force us to shoot outside. So we got to take advantage of our inside play. And I think that's one place we have an advantage is, you know, maybe our forward positions.
Now, one thing about the start you've had this season, is it what you expected out of the guys, you know, to come out undefeated? And it's only 3 games. Of course, you have a much bigger schedule than that. But is this what you expected coming out?
Yeah. You know, we've had a pretty good off season, and the kids worked really hard. Won quite a few games in the off season. But I keep telling them, like, overall, they haven't really won anything. They haven't won a Mountain League championship. They haven't won the district championship. So that off-season stuff doesn't really matter. But you know, this is what I expected. I relate this the season to a marathon. You know, and you know each game is a mile, and we get to game 26. That's district championship. So you know that's our focus. That's our goal. You know, we got to take care of business one game at a time, and you know, and tonight's going to be a great game against a district competitor in Quad A.
Well, let's hope you guys continue to fire on all cylinders when it comes to offense, and you can get out of the hostile Tyrone gym with a win. Good luck, Coach.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, back with the start of tonight's game right after this. You're listening to theairnetwork.net and 94.1 FM Huntingdon. DC Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, DC Goodman & Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. DC Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
Fresh from the farm, That's the Brenneman's Meat Market way. Their USDA certified meat facility offers custom butchering and processing from a large selection of locally sourced beef, pork, goat, and lamb. The retail store offers a large variety of fresh cut beef, pork, and chicken, along with deli items, smoked products, and an impressive selection of seafood. For freshness and unbeatable flavor for your home or wholesale needs, choose Brenneman's Meat Market.
Brenneman's Meat Market in Huntingdon. Call 643-2751.
Well, there you have it. Your national anthem from Tyrone High School. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Shannon. And we'll get the introduction of the starting lineups for these two teams. While they're doing it over the speaker system here, I'll let you know who is starting right here on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. For the Bearcats, starting five include the senior, number 0, Jayton Smith. Also, the guy that we mentioned in the pregame show, 5'7" senior, $145. Number 2, Jonathan Price. Also starting tonight's game is the junior, 6'1", $195. That is Owen Lane, wearing number 22. Then at one of the forward positions, it's a junior, number 32, Will Selesky. And also at forward, 6'3" junior, $170. Leading scorer, points per game, number 35, Nick Rigby. And of course, the head coach of the Bearcats is Nick Payne. On the Golden Eagle side of the ledger for tonight, their starting five include a 6'1" senior weighing 171 pounds. He wears number 2. It's Parker Mitchell. Also, 5'11" senior at $180 is the point guard. And as they say, the heart and soul of the team here, that is number 3, Jake Meredith. Also starting a freshman. Now, this is the son of the head coach, and there's no favoritism being played here because this young man at 6'2", $160 at a freshman is really an imposing figure and really has played a lot of basketball. He plays in the JV games between the before that is the varsity games every night. Damon Grip, he wears number 5. Also starting is the forward. That is the 6'1", 170-pound junior, number 12, Andrew Ferguson. And rounding out the starting five for the Golden Eagles. Shooting guard, 5'11" senior, weighing $155, Dylan Thomas. He can hit the three-point shot, let me tell you. So far in the season, Tyrone's wins have come against Bellwood at Bellwood's place, 48-39. Also defeated Phillipsburg Osceola by a score of 81-55. In overtime, what a great game at Central High School out in Martinsburg. They held on for a 56-53 overtime win and took one on the chin Monday night at Richland, 58-46, a very good Richland basketball team. 3 wins on the season for the Huntingdon Bearcats include an 88-53 win over Tussey Mountain, 51-43 over Bellefonte, and an 85-62 win over Clearfield. Referees take the ball out the midcourt, and the tip is controlled by the Bearcats and Will Selesky. Selesky dribbles down into the right corner, kicks it out to Jonathan Price. Price across the top of the key, goes to Rigby. Rigby down into the corner to Jayton Smith. Tries a 3 from the left corner, won't go. Rebound fought for, eventually picked up by Rigby. Tries to put one up and won't go. Rebound goes to the Bearcats as Will Selesky snags it before it rolls down the floor. Jonathan Price, top of the key between the circles, goes on the left wing. Three-point shot is up and in. Nick Rigby getting his first points of the night. And Huntingdon out to a 3-0 lead. For Tyrone, it's Jake Meredith with the basketball. Hands it to Dylan Thomas. Thomas between the circles. Guarded by Jayton Smith. Meredith comes back out and takes control. Jake starts down the right side of the lane. Tries to get a pass to Damon Grip, and a foul is called on the Bearcats. Foul called on Jonathan Price, picking up his first and team's first. Early on in the action, 7:05 left to go. First quarter, a 3-0 Huntingdon lead. Damon Grip with basketball for Tyrone goes to Parker Mitchell. Mitchell down the left side of the key, off the glass and in. 3-2. And now the Bearcats are able to beat the press quickly up the floor. Down into the corner. Pass comes cross court to Selesky. Back to Jonathan Price. Tries a deep three from the right wing. Clangs off the rim, and it's rebounded by Tyrone and Parker Mitchell. Quickly up the floor. Jake Meredith takes it all the way to the hole. Hits it off the glass and in. 4-3 Tyrone. Press again. Jayton Smith of the Bearcats beats it. Nice pass underneath. Will Selesky puts one up, and it won't fall. It would have been a three-point play had he been able to get that in, but he was unable to. A foul was called on Dylan Thomas. He picks up his first and team first. At the line, Will Selesky. First shot by Will is up and in. We're tied at 4. Selesky on the season is a 31% free throw shooter. And that one rims out. So he goes 1 for 2. Tyrone now with a lot of attempts by the Bearcats to get the ball, and eventually they do steal. Jayton Smith back the other way, off the glass and in, and a foul called on the play on Tyrone's Andrew Ferguson. Big defense there coming down the floor, and the Bearcats win out on that. Jayton Smith ends up taking it to the hole when the foul called on Ferguson, his first and team's second. Ferguson comes out of the game, and coming into the game is Brandon Lucas. First shot by Smith misses, and the rebound is fought for on the floor. They counted, I did not see that go down through. Jayton Smith actually got the basket, and it was a traditional three-point play. I did not see that go down through. I thought it rimmed out, but he only had one shot and he missed it, so we're at 6-4. And a foul called in the action underneath the Tyrone basket. This one on Will Selesky. He picks up his first and Huntingdon's second. Inbound play goes to Parker Mitchell, hands it back to Jake Meredith of Tyrone. Guarded by Jonathan Price. Then hands the ball to Damon Grip. Gets it to Dylan Thomas. Back to Jake Meredith. Comes out of the right corner. Stops on the right wing. Makes a move toward the hole. Gets the ball tapped away. Still recovers. Puts a shot up. No good. Rebound up and no good by Lucas. A three from the top of the key for Dylan Thomas. And Tyrone takes the lead with 5:24 left to go. 7-6. Meanwhile, Bearcats able to beat the press. Feeding it inside to Owen Lane. Tic-tac-toe up the floor. And the Bearcats regain the lead at 8-7. Jake Meredith with the ball. Out around the midcourt stripe. Kicks it over. Dylan Thomas now in the left wing will cut across to the right side. Brandon Lucas with the basketball for the Golden Eagles. Parker Mitchell down the lane. Off the glass and in. Parker Mitchell. And now Jonathan Price with a deep three. It won't go. Rebound was pulled down by Nick Rigby, and everybody that's a Huntingdon fan thought he was fouled. Tyrone quickly down the floor. Huntingdon tried to recover. I think Will Selesky is going to be called for the block here. Nope, it's going to be called on Jonathan Price. And Jonathan picks up his second and team third now. Price will come out of the game and into the game. Nick Gearhart. Jake Meredith inbounds underneath the Tyrone basket. Good guarding by Huntingdon, but coming loose is Dan Grip, the lefty, puts up the three from the left wing, and it's good. Damon Grip makes it a 12-8 Tyrone lead. Huntingdon gets the ball down the floor in a hurry. Owen Lane makes a move toward the basket and is fouled in an attempt to put it up and in. Foul was called on Brandon Lucas, picking up his first, team third now for Tyrone. Each team with 3 fouls. Owen Lane at the line. Off the back of the rim and no good. One more shot for Owen Lane. 12-8 Tyrone with lead. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, though, to Selesky. Owen Lane then takes the pass from Selesky, tries a finger roll. It won't fall, and then fights for the rebound. It's tied up. And with the held ball call, the possession arrow goes to Tyrone. 4:18 left in the first quarter, a 12-8 Golden Eagles lead over Huntingdon. And a good bit of perspiration on the floor after that bit of a scrum there between Owen Lane and 2 Golden Eagles. Out of the game for Huntingdon is Will Selesky. And into the game, it's Jackson Ritchie. For Tyrone with the basketball in their end, Parker Mitchell. Mitchell on the left wing, tries to go back to Thomas, can't get it to him. Damon Grip's available in the left corner. Grip goes back to Mitchell, drives the left baseline, and it's rejected by Owen Lane. Nick Rigby gets it ahead to Jackson Ritchie. Ritchie back to Rigby, into the corner. 3-point attempt is up and no good from Nick Gearhart. Rebound and trying to retrieve it. Damon Grip, I think, got a fingertip on it and ended up setting it out of bounds. Ritchie inbounds for Huntingdon. Has it out to Gearhart. Ritchie goes down on the right baseline, and the ball is kicked defensively by Parker Mitchell. So the Bearcats will inbound again. Ritchie to inbound. Gets it out to Jayton Smith. Over on the left wing now. Top of the key. Rigby goes over to Smith. He tries a 3 from the right wing. Won't go. Rebound to Tyrone. Jake Meredith and Dylan Thomas both up there for it. Meredith brings it back down the floor behind the back dribble. Stops at about the foul line. Puts one up in the key and it falls. And a foul is called on the play. Meredith with 4 so far on the night, and the foul called on Jayton Smith, his first and team 4th now. Meredith will shoot 1 and try to make it a 15-8 game, and he does. Jake Meredith with 5 so far in the night, and a timeout is called by Tyrone as they call a 30-second timeout. Gives us a chance to tell you that you'll be able to follow Bearcat basketball and wrestling throughout the season this year with broadcasts coming up on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. I'll be bringing you boys and girls basketball, and Chad States will bring you the wrestling broadcast exclusively on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Watch for our broadcast schedules coming up on the Air Network Facebook page. Hope you make plans to join us throughout the season. Huntingdon to inbound, trailing 15-8 with 3:22 left to go in the first quarter. As the inbound play goes to Jayton Smith, over to Nick Earhart, back to Smith. They try to beat the press, and the pass over to Jackson Ritchie. Ritchie was already looking up the floor and forgot to stay focused on the basketball, and it goes out of bounds. Inbound play, Tyrone after the turnover. Jake Meredith hands it to Dylan Thomas. Now in the left wing, it's Parker Mitchell. Then back to Dylan Thomas, right wing 3, won't go. Rebound, Jackson Ritchie of the Bearcats. Ritchie quickly up the floor, all the way to the hole, off the glass and won't go, but he does draw the foul. 2:55 left in the first quarter, and it's a 15-8 Tyrone lead. The foul called on Parker Mitchell. That'll be his first, and team 4th, sending Jackson Ritchie to the line for 2. Makes the first one. Bearcat substitution. Selesky comes back into the game, and Owen Lane will take a breather on the Bearcats bench. 15-9 now. Ritchie tries to get the Bearcats into double digits, and he does. Nothing but net on both those foul shots. Good work by Jackson Ritchie. Here come the Golden Eagles, and Jake Meredith get over the midcourt stripe. Coming out to take a pass in the left wing, Damon Grip. Grip goes over to Brandon Lucas, who gets it back to Meredith. Now Dylan Thomas starts down the right side of the key, makes a move to the basket, and rejected by Jackson Ritchie. Back for the Bearcats. Jayton Smith, top of the key, passes over to Selesky. They work it down underneath. Jackson Ritchie puts it up and in. 15-10 now as the Bearcats get back into it, and the traditional three-point play. A possibility here for Jackson Ritchie with 4 points so far out of the 12 that the Bearcats have. Some more moisture around the key area, and Clark Edelman, one of the officials from the PIAA, takes care of that. Ritchie, perfect from the line tonight, as he now has 5 points on the night and leads Bearcat scorers. Jake Meredith with the basketball for Tyrone. Down toward the left corner, pulls back, goes to Parker Mitchell. And then Mitchell out to Damon Grip, over to Dylan Thomas, right wing. Back to Grip, left wing. Will cut across between the circles and just dribble for a while. Coming out for a screen is Thomas, and Grip takes it all the way to the hole and won't go, and the rebound is pulled down by Selesky of the Bearcats. Making a move toward the basket is Nick Rigby, and he draws the foul on the way to the hole. And it looks as though they're going to call that one on Parker Mitchell as Parker picks up his second. He is a key part of the Golden Eagles team. There's a substitution for Tyrone as Noel Palitza comes in, and he replaces Brandon Lucas. And Parker Mitchell comes out of the game. Andrew Ferguson back in. Minute 47 remaining, first quarter, 15-13. Huntingdon right back in it. Tyrone, though, with the lead at this point by 2. Jayton Smith with the basketball. Nice pass inside. Selesky with a little right elbow jumper, won't go. Rebound put back up by Ritchie. It won't go. A fight for the rebound, and they're going to end up calling a foul on Nick Rigby. He and Jake Meredith fighting for that rebound. First foul on Rigby, and the 15 foul for Huntingdon. Minute 32 left to go now in the first quarter. 2-point game, 15-13. Tyrone got out early, but Huntingdon has worked their way right back into it. Jake Meredith hands the ball to Damon Grip, circles around, goes inside to Palitza. Now back into the right corner and driving the right baseline is Jake Meredith, and he draws a foul from one of the Bearcats. It's Andrew Miller in the game, picking up his first. Now team sixth for the Bearcats, and we're just in the first quarter. Jake Meredith misses the first of 2. Meredith's second attempt off the front of the rim and no good. Swiping the rebound as Gerhardt quickly up the floor behind the back pass to Jayton Smith, who finishes the play with a dandy little layup off the board. Now tied at 15, a minute remaining in the first quarter. Tyrone with the basketball. Palitza goes over to Ferguson, who tries to make that move to start down the lane where you kind of hesitate there, and a lot of times that gets called as a travel, and in that case it did. Bearcats now facing pressure by Tyrone. They get it up into the right corner. Trouble with the basketball for Miller, but eventually it gets back under control. Top of the key for 3, bounces off the side of the rim by Nick Gerhardt. And here comes Tyrone. Dylan Thomas quickly down the floor behind the back dribble. Eventually goes to Jake Meredith on the right wing. 30 seconds left. First quarter tied at 15. And as Andrew Ferguson was trying to find somebody to pass to, coming in behind, Jackson Ritchie ends up creating the pressure, and Ferguson turns it over with an out-of-bounds play. Bearcats get it in. Jayden Smith tried to get the ball up to Nick Gerhardt. Damon Grip ends up kicking it, so they reset underneath the Tyrone basket, and here come the Bearcats. Gerhardt up the floor all the way to the hole, stops, passes off, shot off the glass. Jackson Ritchie has emerged as the star of the first quarter of tonight's game, as he now has 7 and he's at the line for the traditional three-point play. 17-15, Bearcats lead. Off the front of the rim, back of the rim, the backboard, and down through. Perfect from the foul line and 2 for 2 from the floor. Jackson Ritchie having himself a first quarter and maybe a big night for the Bearcats. Tyrone with the ball in their end. Right wing coming out. Dane Grip circles around the three-point arc. Gets it back. Andrew Ferguson tries a three from the top of the key, and it won't go at the buzzer. We have 1 quarter in the books at Tyrone High School in the score. Huntingdon 18, Tyrone 15. Back with more right after this. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the AirNetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing for affordable heating, plumbing, and drain cleaning services in Huntingdon. Count on 12 years of ensured excellent service when it comes to heating, plumbing, ventilation, and drain cleaning. Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing, available evenings and weekends at an affordable rate. Call 814-506-5128. That's 506-5128 for Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing in Huntingdon.
Hello, this is Dr. Simone from Simone Family Chiropractic and Chiro Thin Weight Loss Center. By now, you've probably heard of our amazing doctor-supervised weight loss system, but maybe you are not sure if it works or you don't know the cost. Introducing the all-new 9-day, 9-pound, $69 Chiro Thin experience. The system is based on the 4 gold standards of weight loss established by the federal government. Call us today at 814-643-2616 or find us on Facebook.
Bearcats basketball to start the second quarter, and not a good start as they get it in all right. But in an effort to make an offensive move, they end up trying to get the ball to Rigby, and it goes over the midcourt stripe. Backcourt violation, Tyrone ball. 7:50 left to go. In the first half, 18-15. Huntingdon with the lead. Damon Grip drives down the left side, off the glass and in. Making it an 18-17 Bearcat lead. Zaleski with the basketball, right wing, goes down on the baseline, hands it to Owen Lane. Back out to the top, Ritchie with a hot hand for the Bearcats. Spins around, goes over to Jayden Smith. Smith tries to pass it to Nick Rigby, and it is kicked by Damon Grip. Bearcat ball on the Tyrone side of midcourt. Bearcats moving from left to right here in the first half. Bearcats in their road navy with a red stripe down the side of the jersey and also white. Three-point attempt by Jayden Smith won't go. Rebound, Dylan Thomas had it, and he was tied up by Owen Lane. Bearcats got the ball to start the quarter, so the possession arrow is headed toward Tyrone, so they'll get to try again. Jonathan Price will come back into the game, and Jackson Ritchie will come out. Ritchie so far with 8 points in the game, leading all scorers for the Huntingdon Bearcats. Under 7 minutes left to go in the first half. 18-17, Huntingdon with the lead. Noel Politza hangs around the left wing, hands it then to Damon Grip, who goes across the top of the key and gets it to Jake Meredith. Meredith now down the right side of the key, puts it up and is called for the charge as he knocks Zaleski over. Jake Meredith with his first foul. And for, well, actually they're showing that as 2 on the board here, so that's important for the Golden Eagles. Team 8, though. Bearcats with 6 fouls so far here in the first half. Bearcats lead 18-17 with 6.5 left to go in that first half. Jayton Smith down into the right corner. Eventually works it around inside. Nick Rigby with a little kiss off the glass. And the Bearcats go up 20-17. With the basketball, Jake Meredith of Tyrone. Between the circles now, starts over toward the right corner, hands it to Grip, comes out of that corner and drives right to the hole, puts it up and in. Damon Grip keeps it a 1-point game, 20-19 in favor of the Bearcats. From the left corner, a deep three. It's Nick Rigby. 23-19. Bearcats up by 4. Jake Meredith with the basketball. Hands it to Dylan Thomas, their three-point shooting expert. He instead drives to the hole. It goes off the glass, won't fall. Ferguson with the rebound. Gets it back out to Dylan Thomas. Puts up a little jumper from the right elbow, and it goes. 23-21, Bearcats up by 2. Zaleski with a nice save gets the ball to Jonathan Price and back to Jayton Smith. Smith over there in the left wing goes down into the left corner, down the left baseline. Goes Nick Rigby. And as he drives, he draws the foul. See if this was called on Andrew Ferguson or not. Nope. Noel Palitza picks up the foul. That'll be his first, team 9th. At the line, Nick Rigby has trouble with that when he misses it. Rigby into the game as 73% free throw shooter. Next shot is up and in. 1 for 2 for Rigby on that trip. 24-21, Bearcats up by 3. And here comes Damon Grip up the floor. Jake Meredith getting a breather. As coming into the game, it's Blaine Hoover. Here goes Damon Grip. Hands it to Dylan Thomas. A whistle blows, and head coach George Grip of the Tyrone Golden Eagles does not like what he sees, and he feels it's time for a timeout to get his young men under control here in the second quarter. 24-21, Huntingdon with the lead. Do want to remind you that you can follow the Pitt Panther basketball squad throughout the season on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Watch for upcoming game schedules on the Air Network Facebook page. Also, you hardly ever hear a broadcast facility use this phrase, the switch is on to R&B Classics. Now online at the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM Huntingdon. Enjoy the best of Motown and more 24/7 on the home of the Huntingdon Bearcats. The switch is on. Sorry. I could not resist, fans. 24-21. It's been a well-played game so far, although I think Coach Grip would tend to disagree. His Golden Eagles came out of the gate hot, which I'm sure they wanted to do after having that tough loss to Richmond on Monday. But all of a sudden, Huntingdon clawed right back into it, and the inbound play goes to Blaine Hoover into the game for Jake Meredith. Hoover had to go all the way back to the Huntingdon basket and then drove all the way up the floor and passed it to Damon Grip. Hoover now makes a move right to the basket as he manages to get around Nick Gerhardt, and he ends up bumping into Owen Lane, and Lane is called for the block. That's his first, and team 7th now. Hoover at the line makes the first of the 1-on-1. Score now 24-22. Next one's up and in. 2 for 2 from the line for Blaine Hoover, and it's a 24-23. Bearcat lead with 4:44 left in the first half. Jayton Smith with the basketball. Deep left wing for the Bearcats, moves up a little bit now, goes to Owen Lane on the foul line, working it around the perimeter, inside to Owen Lane, hook shot, and it's no good. And then Lane, trying to make sure he can get the rebound, is called for the push. So on Owen Lane, that is personal foul number 2 and number 8 for the Bearcats. Polizza was in there fighting for that rebound for the Golden Eagles, and he'll go to the line to shoot the 1-on-1. First one would tie it up. And Polizza misses it. But the rebound by Andrew Ferguson to Tyrone, back to Blaine Hoover. Tosses it to Dylan Thomas down the lane, right side, off the glass, won't go. Rebound fought for, and eventually pulled in by Richie of the Bearcats. 3-on-1, and eventually over to Jayton Smith, who scores, and the Bearcats go up 26-23. Jayton Smith now with 6 on the game. 11 points so far for Rigby. Blaine Hoover with the basketball for Tyrone. Hands to Damon Grip. Kicks it back out to Dylan Thomas. Back to Grip. Starting down the left side. Pulls back. Gets it to Ferguson. Flashes across the key. Puts him a little jumper up. Won't go. Rebound fought for on the floor. Coming up with it is Jackson Ritchie. Ahead to Jayton Smith. He goes to Rigby. Down the lane. Gets through everybody. Puts it up and won't go. And then the rebound pulled down by Gerhardt, trying to get some room, and it gets called for the foul. Nick Gerhardt picking up his first, and that is team 9th now. Headed to the line, it's Damon Grip for the Tyrone Golden Eagles. Huntingdon up by 3 here, 26-23 with 3:33 left to go. First shot by Grip is up and in. Now both teams will be shooting 2 at the foul line for the remainder of this half. Damon Grip's next one rattles around that rim, but eventually goes down through the cylinder, and we're tied at 26. Jayton Smith with the basketball, tries a hook pass over for Rigby, stolen. Dylan Thomas to the hole, it won't go. Rebound pulled down by Rigby, and he draws a foul. As Grip gets called for his first, team 10th. So Rigby will go to the line to shoot 2. Once again, Nick, a 73% foul shooter coming into the game. And he misses the first one. Nick is having a tough night there at the foul line. He's currently 1 for 3. Next one. Off the front of the rim, kisses the back of the rim, and falls down through. 27-25, Bearcats lead by a pair. 12 points on the night now for Rigby. 3:12 left to go. Here's Andrew Ferguson, puts a 3 up for Tyrone. It won't go, and the rebound is pulled down by Andrew Miller. Miller up the floor. Passes it to Gerhardt. Back to Miller, top of the key, starts down the lane. Nice floater, won't go though. And in the fight for the rebound, Miller trying to get it, tips it out of bounds. Back into the game for the Bearcats is Jonathan Price and Will Selesky, and going out is Gerhardt and Miller. Also into the game for Tyrone, returning is Brandon Lucas. Hoover with the basketball, passes it to Lucas. Lucas down toward the right baseline, pulls back, kicks it out. Hoover for 3, won't go. Rebound pulled in by Jonathan Price. Price quickly up the floor. Big pass ahead for Rigby, stolen by Andrew Ferguson. Back the other way, Tyrone, and Blaine Hoover puts it up and in, and we're tied at 27. Hoover with 4 now on the night for Tyrone. 2:20 left to go in the first half. Into the corner, 3-point shots, no good. Rebound. Dylan Thomas up the floor, kicks it off the floor, and the shot is no good by Lucas, and the rebound by Selesky. Here's Rigby up the floor, tries to pass one to Jonathan Price, and they say that nobody touched it. It just went out of bounds. Back into the game for the Bearcats, it's Gerhardt. Coming out of the game, Jayton Smith. 2:05 left first half, tied at 27. Up the floor, Blaine Hoover. Really doing well here as he came in for Jake Meredith and has been doing a nice job for the Golden Eagles. Damon Grip, the freshman with the basketball, pulls back now. Dylan Thomas trying to give him some help. Grip takes it himself, heads toward the baseline, then pulls back, has plenty of room, gets it over to Ferguson. Andrew back to Damon Grip. Grip now between the circles, behind the back, and a steal. Rigby got his hand in there, poked it away. Pass quickly up the floor to Richie. Spins at the baseline, puts it up, and won't go. And then Richie steals it back. Tries to get to the hole. In his way, it is Blaine Hoover, and they call the foul on Hoover. His first, team 10th. Actually, team 11th in this case. Richie at the line. He'll be shooting 2, as the Bearcats will, and the Golden Eagles for the rest of this first half. And Richie suddenly gets cold. Misses the first of 2. Takes a little practice shot. Gets set again. Second one is up. Off the front of the rim, back of the rim, and no good. Rebound fought for. Rigby almost had it, but instead it was Brandon Lucas who tried to pass it across the baseline, and in an effort to get a hold of it, it goes out off of one of the Bearcat players. Tyrone inbounds. Damon Grip, the lefty, brings the ball up the floor. Passes to Blaine Hoover. Hoover then back to Grip, down toward the right corner. Coming out, Dylan Thomas, right wing. Thomas guarded by Jonathan Price, gets it over. Blaine Hoover kicks it down, right baseline, shots up, no good, but the foul. Brandon Lucas trying to get it up and in. Foul called. And that was on Nick Gerhardt, his second. Shot is up and in. Lucas with his first point of the night. Makes it a 28-27 Tyrone lead. Lucas with his second of 2. Off the front of the rim, no good. Big rebound, bounces out, and who gets it? Both Huntingdon and Tyrone players after it, goes out off of one of the Bearcats. Tyrone gets the ball. Much to head coach Nick Payne's chagrin. Inbound play and a travel called. Nice passing across the key, but Damon Grip had it for just a split second, but enough to have traveling called on him. Bearcats inbound. Jonathan Price deep into the corner to Richie. Back out to Rigby and back out to Price. Nice pass inside. Zaleski off the backboard and in. Bearcats up 29-28. Up the floor. Dylan Thomas brought it up, and now Blaine Hoover will set things up in the offensive end. 30 seconds left to go, first half. Damon Grip kicks it back out to Dylan Thomas out near the midcourt circle. Back to Grip, left wing. Starts down, hands it off to Ferguson, down across the key. Puts it up and won't go. Rebound won't go either, as Brandon Lucas came up with it. His shot rejected by Andrew Miller. And a substitution for the Bearcats as Jayton Smith comes back in for Jonathan Price. 13.4 left in the first half. Damon Grip inbounds to Hoover. Hands it to Dylan Thomas. Thomas out around the midcourt circle. Guarded by Jayton Smith. Smith sticks with him. Thomas across. Kicks it over. Blaine Hoover wide open on the right wing. Puts one up and won't go. And not enough time to gather in the rebound and try another shot. Time expires in the first half. What a first half it was. We have one half in the books, and the score, Huntingdon 29, Tyrone 28. Back with more coming up here on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM Huntingdon. We'll have the stats for you before we begin the second half, but right now we'll get to our halftime show. Once again, 29-28 Bearcats with the lead on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM Huntingdon. DC Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, DC Goodman and Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. DC Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
The Huntingdon Family Center 223 is the heart of the community with loads of activities year-round. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 proudly sponsors community events for the public, plus social events for members and their guests. Stop by for their Friday food specials starting at 5 p.m. every Friday, and don't forget to check out our website for other exciting events. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community. Join us today.
Fresh from the farm. That's the Brenneman's Meat Market Way. Their USDA certified meat facility offers custom butchering and processing from a large selection of locally sourced beef, pork, goat, and lamb. The retail store offers a large variety of fresh cut beef, pork, and chicken, along with deli items, smoked products, and an impressive selection of seafood. For freshness and unbeatable flavor for your home or wholesale needs, choose Brenneman's Meat Market.
Brenneman's Meat Market in Huntingdon. Call 643-2751. It's halftime of the Huntingdon Tyrone basketball game tonight. The Huntingdon boys are on the road. Dave Shannon with all the action here on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM. It's Greg Banks in the studios. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. Hopefully you have a great, safe holiday with your family, loved ones, and your friends. Meanwhile, loads coming up in 2018 here at the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Of course, we've got winter sports with boys and girls basketball action for you. Also some wrestling beginning in January. Chad States will have the wrestling for you. Of course, Dave Shannon with all the basketball action. We had a successful football campaign. All 12 games, home and away on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM. We appreciate all the support from our sponsors, our listeners, and, of course, the alum who helped us pay the freight for the playoff games. Hopefully, with the success of the basketball season, we'll have a little playoff action for you sometime around February or March. So you'll want to keep it here. Some bright spots happening in programming here at the Air Network and 94.1 FM. We are throwing the switch to all music 24 hours a day, of course, 7 days a week. And in addition to the new music format, which, by the way, is R&B classics. So if you grew up with the soulful tunes of the Temptations, a little bit of Motown, Stevie Wonder, I could give you a list of names that I grew up with, never having had the chance to play the music necessarily in total R&B classic in my career over 40 years. So it's kind of nice to bring it home. And so be listening for R&B classics coming up here on the airnetwork.net, in addition to Bearcat Sports throughout the winter months. And also wanted to make mention of some of the religious programs that we're adding to our format on weekends. You may have tuned in Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock as we bring you the Huntingdon Presbyterian Church broadcast from 10 to 11 a.m., followed by the Altoona Bible Church in Pastor Stuart McClelland. That's Sunday mornings from 11 to noon. In addition to that, we're thinking maybe we'll throw a little polka music in there on Saturday afternoon. So if you know somebody that loves polkas, and if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, who doesn't, tune in for that and much more coming up on the Air Network in 2018. Like I said, we're growing leaps and bounds here at the Air Network in 94.1. We are just really gracious to have you a part of our audience as we grow. We have folks actually calling in or sending in email to us from around the country who are Bearcat alum, and they just love the fact that they're able to tune in to their hometown team, the Huntingdon Bearcats, which we support 100%. And as we grow, we are moving into the Mount Union area. For those of you in Mount Union who have been tuning in on the TuneIn app on your phones, your iPads, or any mobile device, listening to not just the Bearcat games, but also some of the other programming we have. We'll be moving a signal into Mount Union coming up in 2018. We don't have a target date for you yet, but as we have 94.1 FM in Huntingdon that covers Huntingdon Borough and Smithfield Township, you will also be able to tune in and listen on an FM signal in Mount Union. We're working on that now. We'll try to get all the technicalities worked out probably in the next few months, but we'll let you know more about that as we bring in the Mount Union Trojans. I don't know about the sports, but at least we'll have some listeners in Mount Union. We thank you. Want to thank all of our sponsors again tonight for the basketball game, the folks who have always come through for us, like Huntingdon Moose Center, 223. They're on Allegheny Street. Also, D.C. Goodman and Sons and the Goodman family. Thank you, Jimmy Goodman, for all your support throughout Bearcat Sports, which will be able to bring you, of course, not only football season, basketball, and also wrestling, but coming up in the spring, we're looking forward to Huntingdon baseball action as well with George Zanuck and the Huntingdon battling the Bearcats, and it should be a lot of fun. So as we grow in 2018, hopefully with a new signal in Mount Union, more programming here with the R&B Classics, local programming as well. By the way, if you have any complaints, maybe any concerns, or you'd like to even maybe say, hey, thanks for all you do at the Air Network at 94.1 FM, you can simply email us at gbanks9170@comcast.net. That's gbanks9170@comcast.net. Or if you like to use snail mail, and I know we have some folks who are listening today who maybe don't have a computer, but they'd like to send us a little note of thanks, or maybe even make a recommendation in terms of programming. If you love, let's say, bluegrass, you want us to head out to the Lions Barn to bring you the live hootenanny on Saturday nights once a month, we'd love to do that, but we'd love to hear from you. You can send your concerns or any recommendations to Greg Banks, P.O. Box 56, Huntingdon, PA, 16652. Again, that's Greg Banks, P.O. Box 56, Huntingdon, PA, 16652. And we'll certainly take your concerns into a little brainstorming session with some of the folks that we work with. I want to take a moment, by the way, to really thank our announcers this year who did just a splendid job. And as we head into 2018, I hope they stick around because they help us grow. Dave Shannon, of course, bringing you football and now basketball, along with Chad States, who brought us football along with Dave, and now wrestling in January. Looking forward to it. Thank you guys for doing a superb job. Actually, our second year in the Huntingdon area. First year, by the way, on 94.1 FM. Thanks for listening to that station as well. We look forward to, of course, bringing you more programming locally, getting more local voices on the air. And, of course, listen for rebroadcasts of all the games, whether it be basketball or wrestling. You can also go to our website and download all the broadcasts there. We get those up probably the next day. Go to simply, our website is www.theairnetwork.net. That's www.theairnetwork.net. Simple as that. You can click on Tune In and listen to the live broadcast there, or look for the podcast or what we have under the tab of sports broadcast, and listen to any numerous games that we've had on the air over the last couple of years. Speaking of which, if you're a Bearcat alum, or if you're a football player or a family of a football player, we still have those thumb drives available for sale at $50. It includes all 12 of the Bearcat football games. What a great season they had. It is a memento that you need to keep, and we'll make sure that Kelly Croker and the folks at the Historical Society get a copy of that, so that down the road here in 50 to 100 years, somebody could go back, maybe technically in another way, and listen to those games and say, you know what, that was one whale of a season. So get your thumb drives. They're still available by sending your $50 to Greg Banks, P.O. Box 56, Huntingdon, PA 16652. Again, that is Greg Banks, P.O. Box 56, 16652 is our zip code in Huntingdon. And you can get that thumb drive with all 12 games for $50. All right. Hopefully you get what you deserve for Christmas this year. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy holidays, and Merry Christmas. We're getting back to the second half now. Dave Shannon live from Tyrone High School, where it's Tyrone and Huntingdon in boys basketball tonight, exclusively on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM. Merry Christmas.
Hello. This is Dr. Simone from Simone Family Chiropractic and Chiro Thin Weight Loss Center. By now, you've probably heard of our amazing doctor-supervised weight loss.
Oh, sorry about that. We'll hear from Dr. Simone. Trust me, we are underway here in the second half at Tyrone High School. 29-28, the Bearcats with the lead. Bearcats with the basketball. Skip pass intended for Nick Rigby goes out of bounds. Owen Lane tried his best to save it, but he couldn't. And basically an unforced error is the way the second half starts for the Bearcats. Tyrone trailing by 1. Bearcats up 29-28, and Jake Meredith will bring the ball up the floor for the Golden Eagles. Hands the ball to Dylan Thomas. Steal. Owen Lane all the way to the hole, off the glass and in. Nice steal, nice finish by Owen Lane. And the Bearcats now up 31-28. Dylan Thomas over the midcourt stripe. Thomas dribbles down right side of the key, kicks it over. Andrew Ferguson for 3. It won't go, in the rebound by Nick Rigby. Rigby ahead to Jonathan Price. Price back to Rigby. Then over to Jayton Smith. Deep right wing three-point shot is good. First 5 points of the second half belong to the Bearcats. They're up 34-28, but Parker Mitchell with an answer inside for Tyrone. Scores from the baseline. 34-30, Bearcats with the lead, and that shot goes up and in as Owen Lane is coming out hot here in the second half, scoring again. 36-30, Bearcats lead. 6.5 left to go, third quarter. Tyrone moving from left to right here in the second half. Dylan Thomas with the ball. Kind of between the circles there to Ferguson and back to Thomas, and now comes Jake Meredith to take control. The floor general moves over to his right side, down into the right corner, spins, starts back out, boxed up by Owen Lane, double teamed by Lane and Smith, and the ball goes out of bounds off of apparently Jayton Smith. And the whistle blows. One of the Golden Eagles have to get their shoes laced back up. Golden Eagles ball, side out, just down from us here on the right side. Inbounding is Parker Mitchell and gets it into Meredith. Jake Meredith brings it up over the midcourt stripe. Jake dribbles over toward the left wing, stops, then kicks it. Parker Mitchell drives down on the right side of the key, puts it off the glass and in. Parker Mitchell with 4, making it a 36-32 Bearcat lead. Nice pass from Rigby to Selesky, fights off a block. Owen Lane gets the rebound. Lane goes to Rigby, and then Nick pulls it out over to Smith. They working around the perimeter, and a no-look pass from Jonathan Price to Selesky is picked off by Jake Meredith, who starts down the right side of the lane, cuts across into the middle. Shot won't go. Rebound, Selesky. Selesky ahead to Owen Lane. Lane over the midcourt stripe with a bit of trouble, but then gets it over to Price. Price, three-pointer from in front of the Huntingdon bench. Hits the top of the backboard. That'll be Tyrone ball. All of Tyrone's offense so far in the second half, courtesy of Parker Mitchell. Certainly a leader on that team. Jayton Smith with the 3 and Owen Lane with 4, accounting for the 36 margin now that the Bearcats have. Good effort by Lane to try to get a steal on Parker Mitchell, and as they fight for it, it goes out of bounds off of Owen Lane. Mitchell inbounds to Andrew Ferguson. Ferguson flashes across the key. Inside, off the glass, won't go. Rigby with the rebound. Nick will bring it up the floor. Picks up some speed and then spins around. Goes to Selesky on the right side and then to Price deep in the right wing. Selesky goes into the corner. Jayton Smith for 3, won't go. Rebound. Owen Lane off the glass, won't go. Rebound fought for. Damon Grip with it for Tyrone. The lefty takes it up the floor, and it's turned over. Stolen away. Nick Rigby spins in the lane, puts it up and in. Nick Rigby with his first points of the second half. Parker Mitchell inside trying to get open. Ends up with some incidental contact that leads to a travel. Parker Mitchell is asking the official, why was that not a foul? And the official basically informing him that that was one of those incidental contact things, and Parker just kind of stumbled there a little bit. Bearcats with the basketball. Ritchie back in the game. Jackson Ritchie with 8 in the first half off the bench. Jayden Smith tries to go into the corner to Nick Rigby, and the ball goes out the door. Not quite out to the street, but out the door to the main doors on the front of the building, and Jackson Ritchie will come over to inbound for the Bearcats. Ritchie inbounds to Jayden Smith past the midcourt stripe. He'll bring it back across to Jonathan Price. Back to Smith. Three-point shot. Left wing won't go. Rebound up and in. Nick Rigby. And a timeout is called by Tyrone. They call a full timeout here. It's 40-32 in favor of the Bearcats with 3:58 left to go in the third quarter. By the way, Greg was just talking about you folks out there, if you got any suggestions or complaints that may be regarding our programming, well, we need to know about that. Or if you want to give us a pat in the back, we'll take that too. Send any information about stuff you hear on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon with an email to Greg Banks. His email address is gbanks9170@comcast.net. You can snail mail to Greg Banks, P.O. Box 56. I think he got the last P.O. box in Huntingdon. There are 56 of them now. Greg Banks, P.O. Box 56, Huntingdon, PA, 16652. We love to hear from you, positive, negative, whatever. We're only going to get better if you let us know what you don't like and what you do like. And we thank you for listening. Always open for suggestions. Tyrone will inbound underneath the Huntingdon basket after the timeout. Huntingdon up by a score of 40-32. The Bearcats were up by 1 at the half and have come out pretty hot here in the third quarter. Tyrone looking for some answers. We'll see what happens after a full timeout by George Grip. Jake Meredith hands the ball to Damon Grip, then goes to Dylan Thomas. Back to Grip, deep left wing, starts down toward the left corner, hands it to Parker Mitchell. Across the key, almost traveled, but maintained control. Jake Meredith spins down the lane, and the ball is tapped away. Ritchie back the other way for the Bearcats. Coming up from behind, it's Damon Grip, and he fouls Jackson Ritchie and makes it go out of bounds. They actually end up calling the foul on Dylan Thomas. Thomas picking up his second. Team first, though, in the second half. This third quarter has moved along nicely. It took us till 3.5 to get the first foul of this quarter. Let's hope it stays that way. Inbound from Ritchie to Jonathan Price. Nice switch move. Little floater in the lane, bounces around the rim a number of times, and eventually goes down through. Jonathan Price with his first points of the night. Make it 42-32. Tyrone at the other end. Tried to get one in. Won't go. Rebound Rigby. Tapped away by Meredith. Owen Lane taps it away from Meredith. Pass cross court for Nick Gerhardt. And then Jonathan Price. Price tries to get it inside, and it's kicked by Parker Mitchell. 3:02 left to go in the third quarter. A 10-point Bearcat lead, 42-32. Jonathan Price over the midcourt stripe, right wing. Hands the ball then to Nick Gerhardt. Gerhardt flashes across the top of the key and hands it to Rigby. Starts down the lane. Kicks it down in the left baseline. Nice save by Ritchie. Then kicks it back out to Gerhardt, left wing. Here goes Rigby down the left side all alone. Off the rim and in. Nick Rigby was 6 in the second half, 16 on the night. 2.5 left to go, third quarter. Jake Meredith is determined to score. He drives the lane and puts it up and in. Jake Meredith with his first points of the second half make it 44-34. 10-point lead for the Bearcats. 2:16 left to go, third quarter. Owen Lane across the middle of the key. Puts up a floater. It won't go. Doesn't give up. Fights for the rebound. Creates the tie-up. Possession arrow goes to Tyrone. They'll get the ball that way. Price is out for the Bearcats. And so is Rigby. Into the game, Andrew Miller. Here's a three-point attempt by Dylan Thomas. It won't go. The rebound is pulled down by Miller. Miller kicks it back to Jayton Smith, and he'll bring it up the floor. On the floor right now, Jayton Smith, Nick Gerhardt, Andrew Miller, Owen Lane, and Jackson Ritchie. Down the lane goes Jayton Smith. Nice dish. Unable to finish is Owen Lane. Ball's on the floor, a fight for it, and Tyrone comes up with it. Dylan Thomas passes to Damon Grip. It won't go. Rebound. Thomas puts it up and in. 44-36. And Jackson Ritchie down on the floor. And the whistle blows to prevent any possible injury then to Ritchie. They let the play complete down into the Tyrone end, but Ritchie was still hanging out there on the floor, and he grasps at his ankle, and he's trying to keep that loose. I'm sure he'd like to get back into the game, and why not? He's had a heck of a game so far. Bearcats with the ball, up by 8. Owen Lane, top of the key, goes to Jayton Smith, down inside. Rigby goes back out to Smith. Three-pointer from the left corner goes. Jayton Smith had 6 in the first, now 6 in the second, and the ball carry is called on Parker Mitchell. Turnover. Unforced, I would say. Mitchell just trying to make a good move, couldn't pull it off. 47-36, Bearcats up by 11. Minute left to go, third quarter. Up the floor, Jayton Smith over the midcourt stripe. Kicks it over to Gerhardt. Gerhardt then to Owen Lane. Out near the midcourt circle, Jayton Smith, left wing. Goes down inside. Attempted bank shot by Nick Gerhardt, won't go. Rebound, Tyrone. Parker Mitchell down the other way. Tries to get one in, it won't go. And Mitchell has some words for Owen Lane. He just eventually walks away. The foul was called on Jayton Smith as Jayton picks up his second. And just the first foul in the second half for the Bearcats. 47-36, and the first shot was missed by Mitchell. Into the game, Blaine Hoover. Out of the game, Damon Grip. Mitchell's next shot is down and true. 37-47. 10-point lead for the Bearcats. 34 seconds left, third quarter. And with the ball, Nick Rigby passes it. Jayton Smith fakes the three, then passes down into Rigby, trying to get it down on the baseline. Owen Lane cleans up the mess. And as he tries to go to the hole, it goes off the fingertips of Parker Mitchell to the Bearcats. Gerhardt to inbound. Gets it to Jayton Smith to Rigby. And then Owen Lane, little jumper inside the three-point arc, won't go. Rebound pulled down by Miller. Turns and shoots. Andrew Miller with his first points of the night. And the Bearcats go up 49-37. 9 seconds left to go, and Jake Meredith with the basketball between the circles. He's going to take a deep three. It won't go. Rebound to Jayton Smith. Three-quarter court shot. And I don't think it would have counted even if it had gone. That'll do it. We have 3 quarters in the books at Tyrone. The score, Bearcats 49 and Tyrone 37. Back with the fourth quarter after this on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
Hello, this is Dr. Simone from Simone Family Chiropractic and Chiro Thin Weight Loss Center. By now, you've probably heard of our amazing doctor-supervised weight loss system, but maybe you are not sure if it works or you don't know the cost. Introducing the all-new 9-day, 9-pound, $69 Chiro Thin experience. The system is based on the 4 gold standards of weight loss established by the federal government. Call us today at 814-643-2616 or find us on Facebook.
Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing for affordable heating, plumbing, and drain cleaning services in Huntingdon. Count on 12 years of insured excellent service when it comes to heating, plumbing, ventilation, and drain cleaning. Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing. Available evenings and weekends at an affordable rate. Call 814-506-5128. That's 506-5128 for Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing in Huntingdon.
Back for the fourth quarter, inbounded in front of me, Selesky to Jayton Smith. Now Jonathan Price, top of the key, starts down the lane, dishes it off to Owen Lane. Lane puts it up and in, and the Bearcats go up 51-37. Preston Mitchell tries to drive and lay one up. It won't go, but there is a foul called, and Mitchell will get to go to the line and shoot a pair. Foul was called on Owen Lane. Third for Lane. Out of the game for Tyrone is Ferguson. And coming back in, Brandon Lucas. 2 shots in for Parker Mitchell from the foul line to start the fourth quarter. 51-39. Bearcats lead. Travel called as Nick Rigby tried to get to a point where he can make a clean pass to Will Selesky. Couple of mistakes early on here for the Bearcats. Still up, though, by 12, 51-39 with 7.5 left to go in the game. Parker Mitchell to Jake Meredith. Meredith back to Dylan Thomas. Deep three, top of the key. Dylan Thomas. That's his zone out in that area for those three-point shots. And now a three-pointer from Jonathan Price, deep from the right wing. Price hits it. And the Bearcats go up 54-42. Jake Meredith out around the midcourt circle, hands it to Dylan Thomas, who goes to Brandon Lucas. Back over Thomas, right wing three, and he does not even catch any of the rim. Unusual for Dylan Thomas to miss like that. And the Bearcats have the ball. 54-42, Bearcats up by 12 and time a wasting for Tyrone. Owen Lane, left baseline, jumper, won't go. Rigby jumped a little bit too early, but you know what? He still ended up with a rebound. Price with the basketball, goes to Jayton Smith. Top of the key, passes down inside for Will Selesky, and it goes off the leg of Dylan Thomas and out of bounds to the Bearcats. Selesky to inbound, and Damon Grip checks in, for Blaine Hoover. Everybody set. Selesky to inbound. Gets it out to Jonathan Price, fakes the three, starts toward the basket, pulls back. Jayton Smith for three from in front of the Bearcats bench. What a rebound by Nick Rigby. Tries to go to the hole, and Jake Meredith kind of leaning into him, knocks Nick to the ground, and the foul is called. That one was called on Dylan Thomas, his third, team's second. Each team with just 2 fouls here in the second half. Rigby from the foul line makes the first. Not been the best of nights so far for Nick from the line. From other spots on the court, it's been good, though. And a lane violation is called, so the shot will not count. It went through for Rigby, but lane violation, 55-42. Bearcats up by 13. 6:15 left to go in the game. Jake Meredith to Dylan Thomas. Tyrone. Oh, travel. He did not dribble the ball, and he took an extra step, and the Bearcats get the ball. Selesky inbounds to Smith. Jayton Smith over the midcourt stripe. Hands it to Nick Rigby. Nick will go over on the right side and hand it to Jonathan Price. Back to Rigby. Goes inside across the key. Then eventually a tic-tac-toe pass. Gets back to Rigby and eventually back out to Price. Price hands it to Smith. Starts down the lane. Hands it off. Selesky makes a drive to the hole and draws a foul on Parker Mitchell, I believe. Yep. That'll be Mitchell's third. And that is also Tyrone's third, and Selesky will shoot 2. Nick misses that off the back of the rim. I'm sorry, Will. Will with 3 points on the night. and misses the second one long. Rebound, Owen Lane. Lane back out to Selesky, hands it to Price. Price tries the alley-oop inside the lane, and it's stolen by Brandon Lucas. Here comes Tyrone. Damon Grip kicks it over. Dylan Thomas, three from the left corner, won't go. Selesky up for the rebound, reaching in to try to get it was Jake Meredith, and he knocks it out of bounds. And head coach George Grip of Tyrone calls another full timeout with 5:33 left to go in the game, and the Bearcats up by 13. Pitt Panther basketball going to be on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon, too. Watch for upcoming game schedules on the Air Network Facebook page. That includes Bearcat basketball and wrestling, too. I'll be here with boys and girls basketball. Chad States will bring you the wrestling broadcasts, and we'll have those schedules coming up on the Air Network Facebook page. And don't forget, the switch is on to R&B Classics, now online at the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. The best of Motown and more 24/7 on the home of the Bearcats. And we want to wish everyone, we're happy you're with us, and we will not have another live sporting event until after the holidays. So a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to one and all from all of us at the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Bearcats basically just need to keep pace here, and they're going to walk out of Tyrone with a win. Inbound play, Selesky to Jayton Smith. Quickly ahead. Owen Lane drives, and it won't go. Too much English on the ball. Then Lane tries to get the rebound and reaches over top of Parker Mitchell and is called for the foul. Owen Lane picking up his fourth. And that'll bring in Jackson Ritchie off the bench. Owen Lane came out hot here in the second half for scoring first couple of points, make it the first four for the Bearcats, and now we'll sit with four fouls. Jake Meredith handing the ball to Damon Grip of Tyrone. Dylan Thomas fakes the pass, drives to the hole, it won't go. Rebound pulled in by Rigby, gets it to Jackson Ritchie, spinning, and eventually gets out of that double team to Rigby. Up to Price. Jonathan Price over the midcourt stripe. Stops from the left wing. Jonathan Price with another three. Now with 8 points on the night, the Bearcats up 58-42. And Jake Meredith with a nice jumper inside the three-point line to make it 58-44. Bearcats with the ball. Rigby down underneath the basket trying to find room. Couldn't get any. Kicked it out to Ritchie, to Selesky, and now Price. Price goes to Selesky all alone, drives to the hole. What great vision by Jonathan Price to get the ball to Selesky, who puts it in. 60-44. Bearcats up by 16, 4.5 left to go in the game. Jake Meredith up the floor. Jake over near the midcourt circle. Gets it to Parker Mitchell. Mitchell starts down the right side of the lane. His shot rejected by Jackson Ritchie. What a game for Ritchie, offensively and defensively as well. Been pulling in some valuable boards for the Bearcats, too. As Jackson Ritchie, the sophomore, doing a great job tonight. Parker Mitchell tries a three. Could not get it in past Jackson Ritchie. Bearcats back in their end. Jonathan Price fakes the three, goes to Will Selesky, who's way outside. Kicks it over right wing. Price is now double teamed, gets through that, starts down toward the basket, lays it up and in. Jonathan Price, not unlike what he did on the football field, is putting on a show here on the hardwood here in the fourth quarter, as he now has 8 points just in the fourth quarter, and the Bearcats are up 62-44. This will give us a chance to let you hear from one of our great sponsors here on the airnetwork.net.
Fresh from the farm. That's the Brenneman's Meat Market Way. Their USDA certified meat facility offers custom butchering and processing from a large selection of locally sourced beef, pork, goat, and lamb. The retail store offers a large variety of fresh-cut beef, pork, and chicken, along with deli items, smoked products, and an impressive selection of seafood. For freshness and unbeatable flavor for your home or wholesale needs, choose Brennan's Meat Market.
Brennan's Meat Market in Huntingdon. Call 643-2751.
Back at Tyrone High School, Bearcats up 62-44. Tyrone with the ball. Damon Grip sends it down into the left corner. Jake Meredith back to Grip. Grip now between the circles, guarded by Rigby. Starts down the lane, pulls up, takes a shot from the right elbow. It won't go. And in a battle for the rebound, Jackson Ritchie gets called for a push on Parker Mitchell. Ritchie's first foul of the night, team fourth. Inbound play to Parker Mitchell, puts it up, won't go. Rebound, Jayton Smith. Jayton up the floor over the midcourt stripe. Now goes down the right side, hands it to Rigby. Skip pass over. Jonathan Price right in front of me for three, won't go. He hustles over and is able to save the ball to get his own rebound. And when he sets it back toward the Huntingdon end of the court, it ends up being a foul called on Jake Meredith of the Golden Eagles, as he and Rigby were going after the ball, and Meredith ended up with a little bit of a shove on Nick Rigby. Coming into the game, Golden Eagles sent in Rashawn Hicks and Blaine Hoover. Out of the game, Dylan Thomas and Damon Grip. Inbound play, Jayton Smith moves it inside. Ritchie with a spin move and a kiss off the glass and gets his first points of the second half. Bearcats up by 20. Jake Meredith, a long three, won't go. Rebound put back up and in by Noel Politza. And Politza also is fouled. Foul called on Jonathan Price, his third, and team fifth now. 2:51 left to go. Politza at the line to shoot one. Shot is up, off the rim, no good. Rebound is pulled in by Will Selesky. Selesky ahead to Smith. Smith, good vision down the court, gets it to Rigby, and then back to Smith. He'll set things up at the midcourt stripe. Jayton Smith has trouble getting through, but then it's Jackson Ritchie, spins and throws it up, almost goes, and the rebound's pulled down by Brandon Lucas. Rashawn Hicks with the basketball for the Golden Eagles, and it's stolen away by Jonathan Price. Price gets over the midcourt stripe. It's then kicked by Hicks, and it will be Bearcat ball in the Bearcats' end. Huntingdon up by 18, 64-46 at Tyrone's place. Almost hard to believe, is it not? Tyrone tough here at their gym, but tonight it's the Bearcats who from the second quarter on have really proven to be the better team and came out here in the second half with a 1-point halftime lead at 29-28, now leading at 64-46. Foul was called on the play on Rashawn Hicks. That's his first, Tyrone's fifth. Inbound play, Selesky to Rigby, to Jayton Smith, back to Rigby. Left elbow. Now coming out into that area is Jayton Smith. Out to the midcourt stripe. Rigby, left wing, starts toward the key. Has the ball knocked away, but gets it back. Selesky behind the back, down the lane. Kicks it into the corner. Smith puts up a three and won't go. Selesky ended up on the floor, and a blocking foul going to be called on Tyrone. 6-team foul for the Golden Eagles. Into the game, Andrew Ferguson for Jake Meredith. And it will be an inbound play, as that's only the sixth foul. Inbound to Jayton Smith. Nick Rigby over to Jonathan Price. Puts up a three from between the circles. Won't go. Rebound Rigby, and has it stripped on the way up by Blaine Hoover. Kicks it ahead. Politza off the glass and in. Noel Politza has now scored 4 here in the fourth quarter. Price trying to get inside. He ends up on the floor. Rashawn Hicks ends up with the basketball for Tyrone. Tries to go to the hole, draws a foul. Minute 26 left. And it'll be called on Selesky, just Will's second personal foul and just the sixth for the Bearcats. Rashawn Hicks, first foul shots off the back of the rim and no good. Substitutions. Owen Lane comes back in for the Bearcats. And also into the game, Nick Gearhart, Jonathan Price, and Will Selesky. Probably get the rest of the night off. Second shot by Hicks is up and in, 64-49. Up the floor, Gearhart. Nick into the right corner, skip pass over. Jayton Smith tries to go inside to Rigby, and it gets batted away. Blaine Hoover tips it ahead. Brandon Lucas ahead to Hicks and manages to get back under control. Politza from the left corner won't go. Rebound, Jayton Smith. He's going to go all the way to the hole, put it off the glass, and won't go. And a rebound by Owen Lane. Down under a minute to go. Bearcats 64, Tyrone 49. And a foul is called on Tyrone. That'll be the seventh and set up the 1-and-1. Nick Rigby will go to the line. The foul called on Andrew Ferguson, his second. Into the game for the Bearcats, Andrew Miller. Jackson Ritchie out. At the line, Nick Rigby. Makes the front end of the 1-and-1. Substitutions, another one in for Tyrone as Stefan Locke makes his way out on the floor, along with Corbin Moon of the Golden Eagles. Second shot is up and no good by Rigby. Rebound, Golden Eagles. 50 seconds left. Bearcats up, 65-49. Jake Taylor into the game for Tyrone. Goes to Corbin Moon. A little hook shot. It's up and in. Big pass ahead. Jayton Smith going to Andrew Miller, who then kicks it over to Gearhart. Nick spins. Now starts down the right side of the lane, kicks it over. Owen Lane tries to get one over for Rigby, and it is tipped away by Stefan Locke. Rashawn Hicks with the ball for the Golden Eagles. Puts up a three-pointer, won't go. Rebound, Nick Rigby. 65-51, Bearcats lead. 15 seconds left. And I think this is going to be the end of this one. Leading by just one at the half, the Bearcats came out and dominated in the third and fourth quarter and win tonight's game by a final score of 65-51. Back-to-back losses now for the Golden Eagles, and the Bearcats go to 4-0 on the season. We'll be back with more from Tyrone right after this. You're listening to Bearcat Basketball on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM Huntingdon.
DC Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, DC Goodman & Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. DC Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community with loads of activities year-round. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 proudly sponsors community events for the public, plus social events for members and their guests. Stop by for their Friday food specials starting at 5 p.m. every Friday, and don't forget to check out our website for other exciting events. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community. Join us today.
Hello. This is Dr. Simone from Simone Family Chiropractic and Thin Weight Loss Center. By now, you've probably heard of our amazing doctor-supervised weight loss system, but maybe you are not sure if it works or you don't know the cost. Introducing the all-new 9-day, 9-pound, $69 Chiro Thin experience. The system is based on the 4 gold standards of weight loss established by the federal government. Call us today at 814-643-2616 or find us on Facebook.
Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing for affordable heating, plumbing, and drain cleaning services in Huntingdon. Count on 12 years of ensured excellent service when it comes to heating, plumbing, ventilation, and drain cleaning. Call Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing, available evenings and weekends at an affordable rate. Call 814-506-5128. That's 506-5128 for Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing in Huntingdon.
Back at Tyrone Golden Eagle High School in Tyrone, Pennsylvania, where the Bearcats have won tonight's game by a final of 65-51. And it was a good night all around as the Bearcats had that 29-28 lead at the half and really took control of things in the second half to end up with that 65-51 win. Unofficially, what we have on the scorebooks tonight, it was once again Nick Rigby, the leading scorer for the team with 18. He averages 19.3 points per game, so right on target. Second leading scorer, Jayton Smith, ended up with 12 on the night. A couple of players with 10. Jonathan Price, all 10 for him in the second half. And Jackson Ritchie had 8 in the first half, 2 in the second half for 10 as well. Then it was Owen Lane with 6 points and some very vigorous play by him over the course of the second half. And also Will Selesky chipped in 5 on the night. And Andrew Miller with a nice deuce there in the third quarter. For the Golden Eagles, a lot of scoring spread out. Leading scorer was Parker Mitchell. He is the leading scorer on the team. He had 11 tonight. Then Dylan Thomas added 10. A couple of players with 9 included Jake Meredith and Damon Grip. A single point on the night for Brandon Lucas. 6 points for Noel Politza. Those all coming in the fourth quarter. And then it was Blaine Hoover with 4 on the night. 2 players with a single tally, and that was Brandon Lucas and Rashawn Hicks. Final score tonight was 65-51 in favor of the Bearcats. Take a break and be back to wrap things up after this on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.
DC Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family are committed and dedicated to excellence by supporting quality education and athletics for all youth of Huntingdon County. For over 3 generations, DC Goodman & Sons and their staff of quality tradesmen have provided excellent service in the installation of plumbing, mechanical and industrial piping, electrical, and fire sprinkler systems. Residential services are also available. DC Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family will continue to serve the community, and thank you for your support. The Goodman family wishes you the best to all area students in your pursuit of excellence.
The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community with loads of activities year-round. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 proudly sponsors community events for the public, plus social events for members and their guests. Stop by for their Friday food specials starting at 5 p.m. every Friday, and don't forget to check out our website for other exciting events. The Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223 is the heart of the community. Join us today.
Fresh from the farm. That's the Brenneman's Meat Market Way. Their USDA certified meat facility offers custom butchering and processing from a large selection of locally sourced beef, pork, goat, and lamb. The retail store offers a large variety of fresh cut beef, pork, and chicken, along with deli items, smoked products, and an impressive selection of seafood. For freshness and unbeatable flavor for your home or wholesale needs, choose Brenneman's Meat Market.
Brenneman's Meat Market in Huntingdon. Call 643-2751.
Coach Nick Payne and the boys go to 4-0 on the 17-18 basketball season with a nice win tonight here against Tyrone by a final of 65-51. Now, we're going to have more Bearcat games coming up for you. Once again, stay tuned to the Air Network Facebook page. We'll let you know about what Pitt Panther games we have coming up for you. Also, what boys and girls basketball games. I'll bring those to you. Chad States will follow the Bearcat wrestlers throughout the season. Don't forget, we have R&B Classics on the air now, on the Air Network, and 94.1 FM, the best of Motown and more on the home of the Bearcats. And one last reminder, make any suggestions, complaints, comments. Just let us know if we're doing okay or if we suck. Send an email to Greg Banks at gbanks9170@comcast.net, or mail a note to Greg, P.O. Box 56 in Huntingdon 16652. And we always love to hear from our audience. That's how we grow, by what you tell us. And one last word as we get very close to the big day. I want to wish all of our listeners a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Greg Banks has informed me, stay tuned, because coming up here, we're going to have, a rebroadcast of the game, by the way, coming up at 10 tonight. And then we have some holiday music. And that's going to follow this broadcast and continue until we rebroadcast this Huntingdon Bearcat win at 10 o'clock tonight. Until that time, when I talk to you again, hopefully for you and yours, it is indeed a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks, Greg, for all your help back there at the studio. And for you folks, we'll catch you again next time. For everyone at the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon, again, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you in 2018.
Thank you for listening to Bearcat Basketball on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon. Tonight's game was presented by Huntingdon Moose Family Center 223, the heart of the community, and by D.C. Goodman & Sons and the Goodman family. The game was also brought to you by Simone Family Chiropractic in downtown Huntingdon, Brenneman's Meat Market, and by Austin Smith Heating and Plumbing of Huntingdon. Listen for rebroadcasts of tonight's game throughout the week. And thanks again for listening to the home of Bearcat Sports, exclusively on the airnetwork.net and 94.1 FM in Huntingdon.